really quick. They were posted on Google Classroom. They should be there by now. It's what's it called? Ecological Organization. Ecological Organization notes. So you guys can go ahead and go over to Google Classroom. I'll present my screen so that you guys can see it.
Am I late?
Just a minute or so, but we're right about to get started. So in Google Classroom, we have new notes posted for science called Ecological Organization Notes. This one is pretty short. So, oh yeah, the game from yesterday, the water cycle game. Was it fun? Was it informative? Wow.
I did a double front flip.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it was better than just listening to me talk about notes. You guys at least got to try some stuff, right? So,
Yep.
in Google Classroom, let's go ahead and open up the slides. This one I think is pretty short. And also open up the notes. And
how many sets of notes are we doing today?
We're going to do 2. My hope is that we'll get them done decently quick because, again, just copy and pasting. And then we're going to talk about how different things affect ecosystems. So those ecosystem games that we played last week that I had you guys do on Friday, we're going to go do again, but with kind of a different insight on how it affects the environment. So basically, we're going to do these notes and then we'll play that game a little bit more. If you've already been playing it, then you get to play it more and more. Woo! Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first one.
Is it ecological?
Yeah, Ecological Organization. Yep. Yep. So, this one says there are different ways to study the environment. Scientists will divide into the environment into different parts. These parts are arranged into levels of organizations, so the different parts that you study. Each level is more complex than the previous one because it incorporates more environmental factors or more environmental things. Studying the environment in levels helps the scientists better understand how living things interact with other organisms and with the physical environment, the non-living parts of the environment. It helps them study ecology in an organized and a logical way. So it's like how there's different types of scientists for biology or chemistry, all kinds of different scientists. So it's just more specific types of science that they study. Okay? So I'm going to wait here for 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and let you guys do this part. Good. We will move on to the definitions in a minute, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Good. All right. So, Ecological Organization notes. This is the first slide. Okay, about 1 more minute. Alrighty. Our next slide. These are the 6 levels of organization that these scientists will study. So level 1 is the individual. So one specific animal or plants. They study one. The second level is the population. So the population of that animal. So one specific species of animals or plants. Community is one specific area in an ecosystem. So maybe they study a specific lake in Winslow. I don't know, something like that, right? Then number 4 is the whole ecosystem. So that would be like the whole town of Winslow as an ecosystem. The biome, number 5, goes out a little bit farther and studies more like the state of Arizona. And then the biosphere goes all the way out to the whole world. Okay, so it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger the higher you go. Is this part that you need to copy over or no? This slide? Because you already did this part. So we just need to do over the definitions. All right. So our first one, the individual is a single organism, one single organism. An individual organism interacts with other living things and its surroundings. The surroundings in which an individual organism lives is called its habitat. So, an individual is literally one thing, one bunny, one lion, one insect, one plant. Okay? So you can copy and paste over just that first bullet point if you want to. An individual is a single organism. Okay? And I will give you a minute here. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, about 30 more seconds. You get to sit tight and listen until the other one shows up. Alrighty, so individual, one single organism. Our next one was a species or the population. Okay, they're kind of the same thing. A species is a group of similar organisms, so a whole group of bunnies or something like that, or a whole group of cactuses, cacti. These organisms are so similar that they can breed and reproduce fertile offspring. Fertile offspring are organisms that can reproduce a new generation of organisms, so they can have kids, basically. The population, so the second one is going to be the one that you need to copy and paste over, your second bullet point. A population is a group of individuals, so a group of the same bunnies, so the same species that live in the same area. So they have to live in the same area for it to be a population of them. You can't take a bunny from Africa and study it like you would study a bunny in Arizona. They're kind of different. They live in different places. They're not going to do the same things. So if you're studying populations, you're studying a population of animals in the same area. Okay, and they study these populations, so this group of animals, to learn how members of the same species interact with each other. Okay, so you're going to want to copy and paste over that second bullet point. Population is a group of individuals of the same species that live in the same area. Okay, I'll give you a minute or so here.
Do we turn it in when we're done?
Yeah, you can turn it in if you finish. I don't remember. Alrighty, let's go ahead and look at our next one. Community. A community is the assemblage, so the gathering, of two or more different populations living in the same area. So that would be like having a group of bunnies and a group of deer and a group of squirrels all in the same area. So it's when the populations of animals interact with each other. So a population of bunnies and a population of deer and how they interact with each other. So scientists will study communities to learn how different species interact with each other. Not just single species, but multiple species. A lot of the time they study predator and prey species. So like if we think about a bunny, what eats bunnies? Foxes and coyotes. That's a good way. So you could
People.
people, yeah, I guess. Sometimes. Gross. But sometimes, yes. So studying a community of bunnies and coyotes would show you how they interact with each other. And I'll give you a minute or so here. Mm-hmm. We are on organization. Huh? Yeah, so we are filling out the one that says community. So like the box that says community, you'll write that definition. A community is the assemblage of two or more different populations living in the same area. Or just copy and paste it over. Okay. Yeah, you can do that whole bullet point, yeah. Tyler, what are you doing over there? Because it sure doesn't seem like copy and pasting. So please focus on this. Thank you. Okay. What's our next one? Our next one is the ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living things interacting with the non-living things in the environment. So this is where we bring in non-living things like the sun and rocks and soil. Those all come to be part of the ecosystem. So in other words, it includes the living organisms together with the non-living parts of the organisms. The non-living parts make up the physical parts of the environment. So that first sentence there, an ecosystem is a community of living things interacting with non-living parts of their environment, is going to be your definition. So that first sentence is all you need to copy and paste over. The whole thing? Just the first sentence.
I did the whole thing.
That's fine too. As long as you understand what
I copy and pasted the stuff like that I think we normally do. So I'm just going back to make sure that is the right stuff to copy and paste.
Cool. That sounds good.
That's why I didn't turn it in yet.
That's totally fine. Okay. We're learning about ecosystems in general, right? So we're learning about how living things interact with non-living things or how they interact with each other. That's kind of the premise of our whole unit that we're doing for science.
Miss Jones.
So, yeah. Yeah. What's up? I don't know who it was.
I think it was Elijah.
Ah. That's right. Are we ready for the next one?
Yep.
Alrighty. So the biome is a collection of ecosystems with the same climate and similar communities. So in other words,
I might lag out.
You got logged out? Can't tell what's going on. I think it keeps logging him in and out, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it keeps doing that.
Okay. If that keeps happening, it's alright. Just keep trying to get back in. And if it kicks you out permanently, just make sure you finish up the notes and you'll be okay. Yeah.
So this is what all we're doing?
There's one more set of notes that's gonna go up. Oh my goodness. In a minute or so. So we're almost done. All right. Yeah, they're not gonna listen though. So anyway, a biome. Whoa. Ah. A biome is a collection of ecosystems with the same climate and similar communities. So basically, let's say Phoenix. Phoenix is basically a really big desert, right? There's different sections of Phoenix that we consider different ecosystems. So if you're kind of over, let's say like if you're in West Phoenix, that could be an ecosystem. But West Phoenix is very similar to East Phoenix. So Phoenix itself is considered a biome because it all has the same type of climate, the same type of animals and plants and stuff in it. Does that make sense? But if you were to go to like California where you have beaches and things, it's going to be a different sort of biome than Phoenix because it's not a desert. It's more ocean. Yes, Charlie. I know about biomes different in Minecraft and there's different biomes in Minecraft. That's good. So you guys know what a biome is. Good. Those are all biomes. Yeah. Forests, deserts, ocean, the savanna. Yeah, those are all different types of biomes. Good. Yeah, coral reef is a biome. Yep. Good. All right, and finally, our last one, a biosphere. It literally includes all life, land, water, and air on Earth. So basically, the biosphere is Earth. So it just got really, really big. You have these big sections of parts of the Earth that are biomes, but when you include everything on Earth, you get the biosphere. Okay, so these are interactions within our biosphere produce a complex web of dependencies. Living organisms depend on each other and on the physical environment in which they live. So as an Earth, everything needs each other to survive pretty much. Like everything relies on something else in order to stay alive. Like animals need water and food, humans need water and food, plants need the sun and water. And why do people kill animals? That's a good question. Why do people kill animals? Hi. Yeah, Phil, you're right. For food. People kill animals for food. For sport.
It's really annoying all those kids talking on there.
Yeah, I know.
It's going back.
Hang on, I'm wondering. I shall be back. All right, let's move on to our next set of notes. Over here. Did it go up already? Not yet. Nope, it's not there. It's supposed to go up at 12:50, which was 2 minutes ago. So here's what we're gonna do instead. Post it. Nope, I'm just gonna post it. Yeah, so once you guys finish up the set of ecological organization notes, you guys may get it turned in. And then you may get the other, you might need to reload your Google Classroom. And another set of notes should go up. Impact of environmental change notes. So go ahead and take a minute and get those open, please. Cool, awesome. I'll give you guys a minute to get both of those open. Yeah, but at least it's not nothing to after we finish up with the set of notes. Okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and start this set of notes. So, our next one, environmental change. So, changes to the environment and how that impacts or affects the different species that live there. So, this one doesn't have any definitions, we're just filling out blanks, correct? Alrighty. Gotta write some stuff. So, first environmental change slide. All organisms require resources to survive. Plants need air, water, sunlight, space, and the nutrients in the soil to survive. Animals will need air, water, food, the space to live, and shelter. If the availability of resources in the environment changes, the organisms that live there will be affected. So we all need things to survive. If we don't get those things, we're going to die. Our species will be affected. And it affects plants and animals too. So let's say there's a plant in the desert and it's not getting enough water. What's going to happen to that plant? It's going to die.
It's gonna die.
Yeah. And the less water it gets, the more likely it is to die. And the more species of that plant that die, the less animals get to eat it, and the more those animals are possibly going to die. So it kind of affects everything if one plant isn't getting enough water, right? Okay, so take a minute and go ahead and fill out those ones.
I was filling them out while you were reading.
That's good. Okay, if you open up another PowerPoint. So if you do that first one, you do that, copy that bullet point over. Okay, we'll do about one more minute here. All right. I've been talking the whole time, and none of them told me I was muted until now. These people.
I thought you knew you were muted.
No, I had no idea. Okay, so hopefully, yeah. Well, anyway. Why would I be talking to my computer if I didn't know it was muted? Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, number one, the species will adapt. They will figure out how to survive with the new changes to the environment. Number two, the species is going to move out of the environment because they can't figure out how to survive there anymore. Number three, a species is going to move into the environment because they might be able to thrive and do better in the new changes of the environment. Or number four, the species that wasn't able to adapt will die out. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys a minute to type those out. As I was trying to say before, they were like, hey, you're muted. Miss Bratt stopped by to pull some people for dibbles. So those of you, she already took Skylar in person. So let's see, who do I have on the meet that needs to go do dibbles? Here we go. All right. So Gabriel, Phil, and Cheyenne. Oh, did Elijah leave? Yep. So Gabriel, Phil, and Cheyenne, what you guys are going to need to do is finish up these notes on your own later. You're going to need to open up a new Google Meet. So you would go open up a new Google Meet in a different browser. And the code that you are going to type in is reading. And that'll bring you to Mrs. Bratt's Google Meet, and she's going to have you guys take the Dibbles test over with her. Okay, so the three of you, no, just the three of them. The three of you that I said. So it would be Gabriel, Cheyenne, and Phil. So you will type that in and go over to that meet and exit out of ours. And we'll see you guys in the morning. Does that sound good?
So me?
Yep, Gabriel, Cheyenne, and Phil. I need you guys to jump over to the other Google Meet with Miss Bratt. Bye, Phil. See you in the morning. Okay, cool. Got them all. Okay, now let's have us keep going really quick. We're almost done. Our next one, what are we on? The species that adapts to the change. It's the next part. Some species are able to adapt or adjust, so they're able to like figure out how to survive if something in the environment changes. So environmental change could be something as simple, whoa, that was an awful noise. Environmental change could be something as simple as like, yep, Gabriel, what's up?
What did you say? What time is it?
No, you go right now and you type in reading to a different Google Meet.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. All right. Okay, anyway. So it could be, so some examples right here, right? If an animal's food supply decreases, so the food is running out, that animal needs to find different food to eat. They have to adapt or change to find that food. If the amount of sunlight decreases for a plant, so it's not getting enough sun, it will bend itself towards the sunlight, or it's going to grow new leaves so that it can get sunlight from a different area. This is actually really cool. There's sunflowers. Have you guys ever heard of sunflowers doing this? Yeah, where they need the sun, so instead of facing this way because the sun isn't getting them, their whole flower will like turn to face the other way. And sometimes they even face each other to get the sun, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's why they're always at different angles and stuff. So these plants, yeah, so they need sunlight, so they start to curve their stem or grow new leaves. Well, they are dying, so they need to get the sun, so they like chill at a different angle. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of cool. And then another change that a lot of people, or not people, species need to adapt to is when the temperature goes down. 1 second, Charlie. If the temperature decreases and the temperature goes down, we as humans put on jackets and layers because we're cold. Animals have to grow thicker fur or they develop layers of fat under their skin. If they cannot do that, their species is going to die or they need to move to somewhere warmer instead. Okay? So there's that slide. You guys need to say that again?
If we are finished with the whole thing, can we leave?
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. We'll see you at the morning for ELA. Yeah, this is the last one. Oh, I'm on Miss Juice. How am I on Miss Juice? Whatever. I'm somehow on Miss Juice. Did I post the wrong one? It doesn't matter. Just don't type on it. Anyway, I think I might have posted the wrong one for you guys. Okay. No, it's fine. Because the notes are mine. You can see up at the top, the notes say Jones, right? The PowerPoint, though, says Jew. So I accidentally posted Miss Jew's PowerPoint, but it's the same PowerPoint, so it's fine. Nope, I didn't either until right now. So our next part is when a species moves to a new environment, correct? Is that the next one? Yeah, if you finish up, you can turn it in. So if a species cannot adapt to the environmental changes, so it can't change and figure out how to survive where it is, it might have to move to a new environment. In the new environment, the species might be able to find more food. It might be able to find the water it needs or the space it needs to survive. So it just might have a better environmental condition for them to live in. So they just might need to move. You can think about this with like birds. They migrate from place to place, right? You know, you see those big flocks of birds flying across the sky. Well, geese, yes, not goose, geese. Well, a goose is one goose. Geese is multiple goose. So they have to like fly different places in the winter and the summer for whatever place they need to be that's going to be better for them during those months. Yeah, something like that. It depends. Usually they fly like east to west, I think. I don't know a lot about birds' migration patterns, I'm not going to lie.
We should look it up.
You can look it up.
I know an example.
What's an example, Charlie?
In Arizona, like we live in Flagstaff or in Phoenix, and the summertime we can go to Flagstaff, and then the wintertime we can go to Phoenix.
Okay, that is a good example actually. In terms of humans, if you think about how Phoenix is really hot, but Flagstaff is pretty cold, like it's chillier for sure. Yeah, so in the summer, people don't want to be in Phoenix because it's really hot, so they go up to Flagstaff to escape the heat. In the winter, people don't want to be in Flagstaff because it's really cold, so they go down to Phoenix to get warmer. Some people. I just live in Flagstaff. It's fine. Alex? Yes.
There's a lot of voices.
All right, let's go ahead and go to our next one. This one. Nope. This is the last notes we're doing. Yeah. All right. So, environmental changes can make an ecosystem more suitable for different non-native species to live. So non-native means that they are not used to being in that environment. They come in and take over the environment pretty much. Usually, a new species is able to move into the environment as an old species moves out. So one species of tiger might leave an environment, but a new species might move in because they can fit better in that environment.
Can I turn it in?
Yep, when you're done, you can turn it in. Okay, so our example here is if the water supply in an ecosystem goes down, so less water, species might have to move away to a new environment to find water. Species that are able to live in areas where there is little water may move in and replace the species that moved out. So, species
Now
will
what
move.
do I do?
We're gonna go play. So let's see. On Google Classroom, if you finish up, you guys can go do this while everybody else finishes. These ecosystem games that I posted last week. I was gonna have you guys play those for a little bit and think about it more in terms of how we talked about keeping ecosystems alive now, because we're talking about that right now, right? So basically, playing these games for a little bit and having fun. I don't care if I already played them. You can try them again. Yeah, you're doing it anyway.
The easiest one was the mountain one.
Okay, so go play those games for a little bit if you finish up.
You should try them.
I will play once we finish. Maybe I'll play and you guys can tell me what to add and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, but let's finish the notes first. We're almost done. All right, next slide. If a species cannot adapt or cannot find a new place to live, it might die out. It might become extinct. The death of a species can further disrupt an environment. Yes, Charlie. The death of a species can further disrupt an environment, especially if it's a producer, because that's the base of the food chain. We need the producers to produce food. A decomposer or an essential source of food for animals high in the food chain. Okay? If a species dies on Earth, I don't know why we had to add on Earth. Maybe they're assuming there's aliens out there. I don't know. The species then becomes extinct. Extinction occurs the moment that the last organism of a species dies out. So you can think about this in terms of dinosaurs. They're extinct because there are no more left on Earth. What else is extinct? The dodo bird is extinct. I don't know. It's a bird that I know is extinct. So
There's also one called the Tasmanian tiger.
the Tasmanian tiger is extinct. Yep. There's no more of that species left on Earth, so it is extinct. We cannot bring it back. We are not like Jurassic Park. We're not going to be able to bring them back. Bald eagles aren't extinct. They're endangered. If we keep killing them, they're gonna go extinct. Mammoths are extinct. Good. Saber-toothed tigers are. Yeah. There's a lot of species that are extinct. Yeah, like Ice Age, the woolly mammoth. What's his name? Manny. Sloths are still around. I don't think sloths are endangered. I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Okay, let's do our next slide. I think we only have. Oh, this is the last slide. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, okay. So when you're done, go ahead and get that turned in. Would you guys like to play, like we do this together and you guys tell me what I need to add and subtract instead?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do the jungle. We're doing the jungle.
I'm not in the jungle yet.
Yeah. So once you guys get that turned in, if you're online, I won't make you stay